So now that we've made the mold for the keys, okay, looks like this, right? Two-part mold. Okay, I'm going to say the word keys, but I don't mean keys like what we're making. These are also considered keys. That means that when you put a mold together, keys keep it from doing certain things. One is rotating, right? So I can't pull these, I can't rotate this half to this half, okay? It locks everything into place. That's very important. Also, the way it's built, means that you can't accidentally over squeeze it to a point, and it makes everything lined up perfectly. And when you're dealing with something very small, like this key mold or these keys, you have to worry about the detail. So we took this to Paul's place, who's one of my guys, and we injected wax into this. And what that looks like is this, okay? Put a little leg on it here. That's an ugly one, but you get the point. So we have a bunch of these made from the mold, right? Lines up like that. Peel these out, let them cool down. This is all wax, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna melt these together on a button, okay? So a button, this is a flask, and this is a button or a rubber button, whatever you want to call it. And basically we fill this with wax and we build a little tree of parts all the way around it. And then we tape up the flask. We pour investment in it, which is like a plaster type thing, but then it's a little different than plaster. It's made for jewelry or lost wax castings, okay? Because that's what this is. We're making lost wax castings. So once we build the tree, which I have done, for quickness here, I can show you, okay? Here's 5 keys in a row lined up, okay, on a button. And this fits inside the flask. Once we get that done, we're gonna pour investment in this once we put some tape around this. Then we stick that in an oven and we have to bake that out overnight. And what that does is that evaporates, or lack of a better term, it melts out all the wax completely, okay? But it doesn't just really melt it. I mean, it disappears, it's gone. So it's gotta be that hot to where it just basically destroys the wax completely, but you're left with virtually a mold made out of investment, or plaster as you would see it. That's what you would think it looks like. And that's what we're gonna pour the molten metal into, okay? So that's the process. So we start out with a sculpture or a 3D print. In this case, we make a mold of it. Sorry for the shake there, right? We cast these in wax, or you could cast them in resin if you didn't need metal ones, okay, which we do. We have some plastic ones or resin ones, we call it 2-part resin. And we make some of those just kind of for backup props, whenever we make props of various different types. We'll make a hero prop, which is the beautiful shiny one that you hold up and it gets seen the most. It's got the most detail. It's perfect in every way. And then there's always rubber props or stunt props, right? So those are flexible or they're durable, okay? They're made for certain things that, say if the actor, or now it's a stunt man, say falls off a horse, well, he's not going to fall off a horse with a full-on katana blade and scabbard, right? So we're just going to make a scabbard with a handle sticking out, made out of something semi-flexible, so when he falls on it, it doesn't hurt him, and of course, more importantly, the prop doesn't break, right? So that's important. So that's the kind of stuff we'll do. Then we might have some that are more flexible or rubbery in a sense that, the blades are rubber, so you can fight with them and, put them against people's faces, you're not going to get hurt. But they're not the hero ones. They never look as good, obviously, but you can fight with them. Or we'll make some, aluminum blade ones that they could kind of fight with. Then we'll make some stunt blades that they could kind of fight with. So it just depends on what's required. But in this case, we really just need some metal casted keys, and that's what the lost wax is for. So now that we've got our button with our waxes on it, we're going to put it in here and tape this up, and we're going to invest it, and I will show you that as we go. Our flask, That's the first time he's using this machine. It's brand new, so that's one way to put it in there.
It slips.
Just don't melt the bottom of the bucket. Now the good thing about all this is that extra energy that we're hearing in there is actually helping to break apart that investment.
Well, literally, it's exploding. You can see it. Actually exploding.
It's like me after Taco Bell 3 hours later. Oh, there we go. That sounds about right. So you can see, we're always worried about the little parts on the keys. So looks like they're all there. Looks like all the details there. So there we go. Next. Oh, this is the investment still in there. You can see the keys are starting to come alive. So a little bit of grinding, a little bit of polish, a little bit of rouge. Okay, got it on a Dremel wheel. We got a little polisher right there. This is actually one of the original ones. These are all the newer ones. We still need some TLC and polishing, and of course the gems. This one's beat up pretty good. This is probably like a backup. But you can see all the stuff that we've done. We had to start with the button and cut them all down, trim them all up, clean them up. If you look every once in a while, you'll see little imperfections, little nubs of metal, that little air bubble left, a little bit of metal there. So those will have to get cleaned off. And now they're getting, the rouge helps kind of age them. And then when I polish them, they'll kind of really pop. And I can start dealing with the jewels, which is my favorite. And I'm back. I am doing the jewels on these keys. Okay, this is my least favorite part because each one takes quite a few jewels. I have to go all the way around. And then I got to put one on, one large one in each part of the middle. This is an original key, but it's been beaten up over the season. It's missing some jewels, so I got to fix that. But this one is a new one. And I just started, I'm about 3/4 of the way on 1/2. That takes quite a bit. So this is how I do it. Got a box of little jewels here. I know I don't want to spill them all out, but I've got quite a bit spilled out on the table here. I've got a little rubber tipped pencil. And what I do is I just take that and I pick up one. Then I take it over here. And I put it in the glue. So I can see here. I just barely touch it. And I gotta go place that right where it belongs. Hope it lines up. There we go. And now I added one more jewel. So let me do that one more time. I apologize, you're just seeing like the top of my head, but you get the idea. Little glue on the jewel. Hardest thing with this is just being able to focus and see what you're looking at because it's so tiny. And you're kind of moving back and forth in your focal point, and these kind of glasses is right about here is about, a good spot for me to be able to see clearly. If I go this way, I'm blurry, this way I'm blurry, or cross-eyed. So I'm just going to keep going, but I'll show you the end result with all the keys that are done, and we'll go from there. I can't even see the camera, to be honest with you. There you are. The keys are done and going to production. Like us and subscribe if you want to see more content. ValekTheBlood.com